What could possibly turn a place of joy and entertainment into a death trap overnight? Such was the fate of Cinema Rex, a beacon of pleasure in the heart of Abadan, Iran. The cinema was more than just a building. It was a venue that brought together families, friends and communities, a place where laughter and cheer echoed off the walls. But on the fateful night of August 19, 1978, this haven of joy was drenched in airplane fuel and set ablaze, transforming it into a horrifying inferno. As the flames danced and roared, the air filled with cries for help and the sickening smell of smoke. In the blink of an eye, the cinema turned into a death trap, claiming between 377 to 470 innocent lives. The immediate aftermath was a scene of chaos and grief. As news of the tragedy spread, shockwaves rippled throughout the city. The people of Abadan were left reeling, struggling to comprehend the scale of the disaster. Their beloved cinema had become a tomb, their place of joy a scene of unimaginable horror. The flames of the cinema not only consumed lives, but also sparked a wave of suspicion and anger. When tragedy strikes, who is to blame? In the wake of the catastrophic Cinema Rex fire, this question echoed through the streets of Iran. The government was quick to pin the blame on Islamic Marxists, a scapegoat that raised more questions than it answered. Meanwhile, anti-government protesters began to point fingers at the Iranian secret police, accusing them of orchestrating this calamity. Yet these accusations were based on speculation, rather than solid evidence. Amidst this chaos, the Islamic opposition saw an opportunity. They seized the narrative, using the disaster as a tool for propaganda to fuel anti-government sentiment. The fire, the loss of lives and the uncertainty, all were woven into a narrative that painted the government as the villain, stirring public anger and mistrust. The blame game was in full swing, accusations were thrown, fingers were pointed, but the truth remained shrouded in smoke and ashes. As the ashes settled, the blame was passed around, but the truth seemed elusive. How can a single event ignite a revolution? The Cinema Rex fire was not an isolated incident. It was followed by a firebombing in Shiraz and a theater burning in Mashhad. These series of events created an atmosphere of fear and unrest, setting the stage for a revolution. This catastrophic event played a significant role in triggering the Iranian Revolution of 1979. The government's slow response to the disaster, and its attempts to shift blame, only served to fan the flames of public anger. The citizens demanded answers and accountability, but were instead met with silence and deflection. The attempts to suppress the truth and the lack of transparency from the government only intensified the anti-government sentiment. The people's trust in the leadership was shattered, creating fertile ground for the seeds of revolution to take root. The tragedy of the Cinema Rex fire was a turning point in Iran's history. It was a stark reminder of the power of the people when united in grief and anger. It showed how a single event, a single spark, could ignite a revolution that would forever change the course of a nation. The Cinema Rex fire was more than a tragedy, it was a catalyst that forever changed the course of Iran's history.